Today, it's simultaneously easier than ever to grow a dental practice and at the same time harder than ever if you're focused on the wrong stuff. And my assumption, my challenge to you is that you're likely focused on the wrong stuff because of marketing agencies and other players who are brainwashing you to believe that their solution works. But let me show you why that might not be the case. So I'm actually a marketing agency myself, and I've been doing this work. My job, my sole job has been to help practices grow. And we've realized that the old methods aren't working anymore, that the landscape has truly shifted. If you think of people, the market you're seeking to serve, they're much different than they were before. Back then, you can just advertise to them. Now, 52% of Americans have some sort of ad blocking. They don't want to hear ads. Most likely you have some sort of ad blocking, but we engage in marketing as if other people don't, as if they want to hear us, and that's just not the truth. Now they're more skeptical than ever. If we go and see something that's 50% off, we're likely to believe that the price was doubled before they halved it again. So Americans are choosing to leave this type of noise making, of advertising, of having people push things onto them. We're choosing to leave a digital space and go more analog. We're choosing to leave algorithms that are just taking their attention and spinning it so that other marketers can feed stuff into their attention. We don't want that anymore. And the failure that I see is that the industry, the dental marketing industry, is just focused on that old behavior. All right, but what happens if we keep focusing on that? Advertising is being restricted very heavily, especially when it comes to healthcare. So what's happening? It's becoming harder and harder to find advertising that works. Once you find advertising that works, guess what? All the people that gets left in the market are those that didn't resonate with the advertising that worked. So what has to happen is we have to go and find another advertisement that works. And that process is only possible through tracking, iteration, and making improvements until we find something that works. But tracking, iterations, and algorithms are being regulated. So we're fundamentally relying on a strategy that is getting worse and worse and worse. People talk about SEO. This is something that used to work and stopped working for local service businesses back in 2018. You can look this up. Yet it's still being promoted by marketing agencies that provide SEO. And well-intentioned speakers maybe, who succeeded with it back in the day. And so they're sharing that it worked, that SEO worked, but they're not marketers. They have the best intentions, but they don't see how the landscape has shifted. And so when we focus on this work of shouting at people who don't want to be heard and leveraging a platform that's getting more and more inefficient, no wonder it's hard to grow. So what's the alternative? What's the better way forward? The better way forward is to take our focus off of new patient acquisition, because we've been so focused on all the hype and hustle of getting someone through the door that we've lost sight of the big picture. What's the big picture? The big picture is referrals. It's word of mouth. It's creating an experience at the office that's so remarkable that the people who engage with you tell everyone they know about it. It's becoming remarkable. It's not about that first interaction anymore. It's about creating an entire system that has those people spread the word about you so that you can use advertising to connect with those people at first, and then ultimately you can sustain your practice and grow through word of mouth. This is possible. This is possible, but it's going to require that you do different things. It's going to require that you start internalizing marketing, not just as advertisements, as websites, just the part that comes before they come into your office. No, now marketing is the entire thing. You have to ask yourself, how can we design elements of our practice? What can we play with in order to create an experience that's meaningful? And not just how can we do things that I think is good, that you think is good, but to create a coherent experience with one group, one persona in mind. And it's not the patient avatar. The patient avatar is way too specific, and we've fundamentally flawed how we target people. It's not about demographics, it's not about gender, it's not about how many children they have. Because if you set up an avatar that way, every person who comes into the door, you're going to realize that the avatar is flawed and they don't match that avatar. That probably 50% or so of the people who come in are going to be the wrong gender. So it's going to start with beliefs. It's going to be in service of a belief system that the market has. What are those people believing? What do they want? What do they think is better dentistry? And you leading the way to that, to stopping becoming a commodity because you can serve a true need. Sure, dentistry is a need, but there's enough dentists. You're not a need yet. And when you can become a need, growth doesn't become a problem anymore. So how do you become a need? You choose that persona, you choose that profile, and you create an experience that is so remarkable, so meaningful, and so noticeable for them. You have to work on the presentation again. We have to fix that. So that if I don't believe in what you're doing, if you do dentistry in a way that I don't believe is aligned for me, I can still see it and say, hey, I don't agree with that, but I know some friends who want it that way. I know some people who would love that. But what's happening right now is most dental offices don't differentiate that way. They don't stand up for something. Everyone's just copying each other. No wonder we're commodities, right? So when you stand for something, people can start pointing to you and saying, hey, I might not like dentistry that way, but I know someone who does, and you get word of mouth. But right now, that doesn't happen because we're not standing for anything. We're copying what other people are doing. We're just being another option. And when you're just another option, you have to compete on price. You have to, when two things are equal, people are going to pick the one that's cheaper. So I hope you understand why it's been so difficult to grow using the old methods. It's a new world and we're trying to engage at it. We're trying to engage with it with the same old tools. I'm not trying to promote a new tool to you. I'm not trying to sell any service or any product to you. What I'm asking you to do is engage differently, to design elements that you have the power to design, elements of your practice, things like pricing, how you greet people. Can you break the rules? Can you break what is considered normal in service of those you seek to serve? Treatments, chairs, interior, the plaza, the follow-ups, all these things are elements that you get to work with. And there's more. I'm just touching the surface of it. All right. So to grow your practice today, it's not going to be reliance on the old tools. The old tools don't work as well anymore. It's a fundamentally different landscape. All right. And to help you, I made a free course. It's free because I've worked with clients. I've made them promises. I've said, hey, if you use these old tools, I will help your practice grow. I've said that and I've let them down. I've had clients who I've done work for, done as best as we could, and it didn't work out for them. And that's when I realized things have to fundamentally change. And I promised one that, hey, because this was at your cost, this lesson that we learned at your cost, I'm going to make this course free. So the course is free. I'm going to put it in the description below. I'll put the link there. Check it out. You'll get the exact steps that you need to create a remarkable practice. One that doesn't rely on growing, one that doesn't rely on growth through advertising, through pushing people, to reminding your patients constantly, hey, make sure you remind your friends. It's annoying, right? And we get to escape that. We get to engage with the market a different way, a more empathetic way, a way where we start with their needs. And when we can do that, now you become the only provider of dentistry in that way. If someone wants dentistry the way you do it, they're going to have to travel further to go and come to you. They're going to have to, if they meet someone who knows who has that problem, they're going to have to tell them to go to you. If other specialists or professionals engage with a patient who wants dentistry done that way, they'll have to refer them to you. All right, so that's the new goal we're doing. We're trying to create word of mouth into your practice. We're trying to make that a byproduct of someone's engagement with you. All right, I hope you join us on this journey, because the alternative of not doing this is to rely on the old tools. is to fundamentally engage with people in a way that's getting worse and shaking them and getting them to come into your office. Coming in, having them sit down on the chair, using all your sales tactics on them, because we have to optimize the moment. And we haven't done the work of creating better moments, creating alignment. And when we create alignment, we don't have to worry about sales. You already have people in the door who are aligned with what you want them to do, versus people who aren't aligned, who your messaging has been incoherent for and inconsistent with. We get them in the chair, and now we have to do all these tactics in order to get them to say yes. And guess what? That entire experience kind of sucks. All right, I hope you're seeing the gravity of why we have to engage in this new way. All right, so thanks for listening. Check out that course. It's going to give you the clarity that you need to understand what you need to do to create a remarkable practice. Just look at it like there's a workbook that comes with it too. So just skim through the workbook, see through the work that has to be done. And if you believe in it, then go through the workbook, do it and implement it and create a practice that is truly remarkable. Because the people out there, we need you to do this for us. We have enough dentistry. We need someone to do it better. Thanks.